Hello again. It's been a while. I think I always say that, but we are currently making yet another cosplay that has no demand for, and I'm just doing so that I can get done with it. So yay. I'm not the happiest about making an Oshinoko cosplay anymore. I probably should have done this months and months ago, maybe a year ago, when I first bought all these fabrics and wigs and all, but I've been pushing it out like I do with every single cosplay of mine until I feel that now is the time to get it done with. So yeah, that's why we are only now cosplaying as Kana. I'm never gonna say that cosplaying a character from a show that's highly controversial or has had a bad ending to it is not okay or it's bad or something. Personally, I don't have the hype for Oshinoko anymore once I learned how it ends. However, I do still have the fabrics, I had the wigs. I do also like Kana. I really do like her. So that's why we're doing this now, so that we can then move on to something more, well, non-controversial, I guess. The bottom line with me is that you cosplay who you want to cosplay, and what anybody says is their own business. Like, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. So, yay. Am I being controversial? I don't know. I might be. The skirt is a little bit tight, but it's fine. It works for what it needs to work for. Hello. It's been 3 months, I think now, since I last posted a video as of filming this, and it's probably going to take me another 2 months to post this video. But yeah, can I just say these past couple of months have been a lot. There's been so much happening in my own personal life, at work, and like my finances have been just all over the place. Like, I have not been mentally in a state where, like, you can also like see my current appearance. Like, I have dirty hair, I have pimples all over my face. I'm not I'm not at my peak right now. There's been a lot happening between August, September and October that sewing has not enticed. Yeah, I've been watching Girl World. To mention a couple of things that have happened these past couple of months, the first thing I do want to mention is that I broke my finger. I got in an accident at work, and my finger got twisted by 90 degrees, and while doing it, a piece of bone was torn off by the ligament. I'm not sure. Janne. Maybe it's a ligament. I'm gonna say that it's a ligament, but either way. So yeah, I got myself a broken finger. That was number one. Number two, I got somebody, well, it wasn't like a break-in, like it was a maintenance person who came in to my apartment without them being allowed to, which was also very nice. When you come home and the pups, they are completely just out of it, like they are shaken, they are upset, they're constantly like worried like who's gonna come through the door next. So that was an issue of its own. Then my laptop broke. Like, yeah, so I had to buy a new laptop. What else? I'm sure something else. Oh yeah, there was a scandal at work. So yeah, sewing hasn't been something that I've been even thinking about really. The cosplay I'm doing this time is Arima Kana. which is actually quite funny because if you don't know Kana in Finnish, it means chicken. So Arima, Kana's name has always been a little bit funny to me. I finished watching season 2 like maybe, I don't know how many months has it been, like 6 months ago, and I just had this urge of cosplaying Kana. I don't know, like I've always had a thing for redheads, like I don't know, like redheads just work for me. I just figured that before the anime takes a turn for the worse, I'm just gonna do the cosplay, I'm gonna finish it up, and then I can move on to something different. Either way, the skirt, it is horrendous, the fabric. When I ordered this fabric, I did not realize what I was ordering. I just ordered based on the description. It said that it works for like dresses and skirts and like blouses and stuff, but it is so wrinkly. It's not very ideal for me because I hate ironing. But other than that, like I do like how the skirt came out. I still need to sew on the hooks to the back, and then I need to finish the hem. But other than that, like, yeah, it is done for. Next up, we're gonna be sewing the blazer, which is also a fabric that I did not expect it to be. Luckily now I do have my fabric book, which does make it so much easier to make the decisions before purchasing the fabrics, as in, oh, is this the type of fabric I want to be using here, or maybe should I go for something else. I like the color, but I'm not sure if I actually should be lining this or not. Maybe I should, but I don't have anything to line with. So that's not gonna happen. But yep, the blazer is coming up next. This is the fabric I have for the bow. I still don't know how to actually make the bow, because it is clear that it is like tie-in, but I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out. This is the jumper I'm gonna be cutting up and reusing. I'm gonna be cutting up the arms off and then just making it into like a vest, like knitted vest. I think it's gonna be okay. And here's the hat. I did order this in, but I'm thinking that I'm probably just gonna like repurpose the pattern and remake this. But at the same time, like if I get lazy, like I can just use this one. It's fine. It looks very nice with my bun, but like yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stop complaining now about the hardships of my life, and I'm gonna continue with sewing. So yeah. Working on this cosplay was relatively mind-soothing for me. I haven't been sewing anything in months again, and life has been giving its ups and downs for me, like I shared a little. So just sewing on something that's relatively simple and something that doesn't have to be perfect was exactly what my mind needed at this time. However, I have gotten to a point now where I'm just so done with myself when it comes to complaining about not understanding passions and not knowing what to do and how to do things. So I went ahead and I bought myself 4 different sewing books as Christmas gifts. So I'm hoping that I'm actually going to learn from them. I am definitely going to be reading them, but learning is a completely different thing. But hopefully next time I'm going to be sewing anything and doing anything, I actually know what I'm going to be doing. So I'm excited about that. Ooh, doggy. I don't know, like, if I just don't know how to follow a passion, or like if I'm missing something, if I'm doing something just so badly off. But like, I also, like, there is a possibility that I just have very thick arms, which is a reality. Like, I'm very strong. This is a blazer, like, obviously it needs to still be modified. Like, the sleeves need to be shortened, hem needs to be shortened. I probably need to like modify the neckline and all that, adding all the like yellow details and buttons and then whatever. But like, I'm just like, it's just so snug. It is very uncomfortable. Like, it is so snug that it's just so uncomfortable. Like, you can see that when I raise my arm, like, there comes this pouch over here, and like, it doesn't, like, I think I should like open the seam like about this much for it to be like somewhat comfortable. Let's continue with the sleeves. Like, If I would do anything different with this jacket now, is I would make it a little bit shorter, because as of right now it cuts me at my widest point, which is my hips. So the ideal point would be to cut myself off in my narrowest spot, which would be my waist. So that's something that I would most definitely do a little bit differently. Like, just make it maybe like 2-3 centimeters shorter. And here are my boys, right before we're gonna have some dinner. They always get very excited when it's dinner time, so here's a little shot of that. Okay, I'm now done with the school uniform, as in within the, like, in regards to the main pieces. It does need to be ironed, like, quite obvious. Like, this is the worst fabric. I'm never going to be using this fabric again. If I don't know, if I remember not to use it. Probably I should be writing it down somewhere, like, don't use this fabric. But yeah, this is how it looks. Like, nothing special, like, just a very basic school uniform, I feel. But what's left now is the bow and then the hat. Okay, we are on to making the bow, and this is just the draft of what I'm about to be making. Hold on, let me show you. Does it focus? So this is a Princess Serenity back bow tutorial that I found on Pinterest. I do not know who created this, but this is the idea that I'm using in order to create the bow now for Kana. And there goes my white balance. Hold up. There we go. It's a little bit better. But yeah, so this is the part of the bow that's hanging, and then I'm gonna be creating the bow part separately. And then there also will be this kind of like neck piece that goes around your neck and holds the whole bow thing in its place. I still do prefer using fabrics that are recycled, but I've also come into terms that my perfectionism that I have when it comes to the shade and material of my fabrics, it just takes much bigger spot with making decisions with my cosplays. By the way, you do not make bows like this. There's a pattern how to make a bow. It's not from a rectangle piece. This is not okay. That's why it became so lopsided. But when I can use recycled fabrics for like smaller items or things when it comes to my cosplays, I still would like to continue doing that. But it's a little upsetting that I can't just go and recycle every single fabric of mine. I would like to use more recycled fabrics, but as of right now, I'm gonna give myself permission to just use them with the smaller parts of my cosplays. We're off to the last part, which is gonna be the hat. I have already completely taken apart the hat that I bought, because I have a big head, I have a lot of hair, and then when I put on a wig, it makes my head even bigger. So the hat that I bought was never gonna be fitting. So we're gonna be making one for ourselves. The hat is almost done, but I overestimated a little bit, most likely, because it's a bit too big now. It's gonna look fine, like so, but I don't think it's gonna stay in my head unless I do a little ribbon thing. So this is from the base hat, the one that I use for the pattern, and it already has these there's a word for it, but I don't know what it is, but these holes that you can then put a ribbon through, and after the ribbon has been placed inside, you can then tighten the hat accordingly. So that is what I'm gonna be doing. Just sewing it on like so, and then threading the yarn or ribbon inside, and yeah. Then the last part is just to add the big black bow to the back of this hat, and then it's done. So let me put on Once Upon a Time. I've been rewatching it. It's season 3, and I'm not really paying that much attention, because Once Upon a Time I liked, or rather I loved the first season. Second season was already a little bit dull. Third season even more, but at least there's hook, so that's always nice. But either way, I'm gonna continue with the sewing, and then I'll show you the end result. I think the hat is cute. absolutely did become too big. And here's me taking a sneak peek at that Once Upon a Time that's currently rolling on TV. But either way, we are ready to move on to the reveal. So here you go. So, how's it going? I know that the Oshinoko train has set sail. I know that the Oshinoko train has left the platform already, and due to the whole and the very unsatisfying ending of the manga, many people don't really like the show anymore. I've had Kana planned as a cosplay for a few years now, I think. When I first finished watching the first season, I figured that, oh, I want to cosplay as Kana because I really like her. She's very problematic, up in her own head type of person, and very stubborn and spoiled and all those things, but still I like Kana. And I do have like a thing for red-headed characters, like I don't know, like I always seem to resonate with them. This whole cosplay itself didn't take me that long to make. I think we're talking about like 3 days, 4 days at max, because I did the wig on my own as well. I added that little pink stripes to it. I think it fits. Like in the first season. On the second season they no longer had those, but I really like them, so that's why I added those. Let's talk about the cosplay itself. I like the fact that I could recycle some of the fabrics, like for instance for the bow, this used to be a nightgown that I just wasn't wearing anymore. Not that I ever really was wearing it, but like still, that I could now modify into something else, and the color fits perfectly, so that worked out well. The same with the jumper. I did buy this off a flea market, and by just cutting off the sleeves I could modify it to work for Kana's cosplay instead of having to knit it completely on my own or try to find knitted knitted fabric that then I would have to cut and sew and all that. So I like that I could kind of like use items that otherwise would have just gone to landfill, or well, yeah, pretty much to landfill. I was happy that I could use some recycled fabric, so yay for that. The blouse on its own, like I wear it occasionally if I have some occasion that needs me to wear a blouse, so it's not that I got it for this Kana cosplay, but yeah. I do like the blazer. I think it looks good for the cosplay on its own, so yay. And also, like with the buttons, I also recycled these ones. I've had them for years now, since my very first Sanji cosplay, like I don't know, years and years ago. So I can now recycle those buttons as well, so yay. The skirt, I do not like the fabric. It's very flimsy, it wrinkles immediately. As soon as you touch it, it wrinkles, so that's a little upsetting, so to speak. I also made the waistline way too small myself. At first it was too big, but then as I started taking it in, I took it in too much, so now it's a little tight, a bit too tight. It's very uncomfortable, and I can't put the sweater inside the skirt because it just doesn't fit. So yeah, the hat, I think it came out well, other than it just came out way too big because I made it too big. It's not perfect by any means, but it does what it needs to do, so it is what it is. And talking about the wig, I do like it. I like how I managed to cut it and style it. It's very cunty. It gives off a very like 2000s secretary with long nails and all, like it's very oof. But yeah. I actually used to have a red bob when I was a child because I really liked Will from Witch, the comic books, so it's very reminiscent, but I think it's showing my age too much to have like a bob like this, so I'm not going to be cutting one. I need to have my long hair to keep my youth. I do like how this all came together at the end. I don't know, maybe not my favorite piece, but at least now I'm done with it. I'm okay with it. I'm maybe a little bit happy with it. But yeah, it was just something that I just needed to get done and over with, so that I can now move on to something else and not feel guilty about it. And also, like, I just wanted to make just something very quick after having such a long hiatus again. I do want to... There we go. I do want to talk about something that I did last weekend. I went to look at the Beauty and Beast musical theatre, and it was so amazing. Like, like the costumes and the actress, the songs, the whole atmosphere of it all, like it was just so fantastic. It was so great, and I just look look at this. Like it's just the enthusiasm that these people had while they were on the stage. It was just so inspiring and just so magical, and it just made me think that, oh, I would love to do something like this too. It just made me just think that, oh, I would just love to do something like this. I don't know, maybe I'm just manifesting it. With putting it out into the universe, and then one day, someday, I will find my way into doing it. But I just this was very special to me, and if I could, I would go and watch this every single weekend, but I can't afford ticket prices like that. But if I could, I would, and if you can, you should. So I really love it. I really love it. I might go again. Thank you so much for watching again, or again, if this is your first time, then thank you for watching. I'll see you hopefully again within the next few months, but you never know. I'll never know. It really depends a lot on my work schedule and the energy I have left after work. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.